How are you guys today?
Grand.
Good. How are you feeling? How's energy levels today?
I'm awake.
Well, you were in my 9 a.m. class this morning, so
I did this already.
you're doing well. Not this one.
Not this one.
You did. You did the chill one.
I ran out of weed, but other than that.
Nothing that cannot be fixed. Alrighty, so today is third class of our 7-week chakra balancing series. So we've already done our root chakra, we did our sacral chakra, and then today we'll be working with solar plexus. So just some information on our solar plexus chakra. So it's connected right above our navel.
I have.
So think of like that
Andrea
stomach, upper stomach area. Okay. The solar plexus is the center of our personal power. So it has to do with our confidence, self-discipline, and our ego.
Oh.
It governs our identity, our sense of purpose, willpower, and anatomy. When it's in balance, it can help us assess ourselves. It helps us establish clear boundaries with an open heart towards others. Now, just like any type of energy out there, energy could be either overactive, underactive, or balanced. So our chakras work the same way. So an overactive solar plexus chakra can manifest as excess pride, arrogance, aggressiveness, or the desire to want to dominate others. You may feel overly controlling, manipulative, or impatient with a strong attachment to power and recognition. This imbalance can also show up on physical signs such as ulcers or acid reflux. Again, it's all our upper stomach area. On the opposite, our energy can be underactive, so lower than we wanted it. You may experience low self-esteem, lack of motivation, feelings of helplessness,
I'm getting called out right now.
difficulty making decisions, even the most simple ones. You may struggle with setting boundaries or feeling the need for always having external validation or approval. Physical signs can include fatigue, digestive issues, or a weakened immune system. So hence the importance of always keeping all our energy balanced, because a balanced solar plexus chakra will allow us to feel confident, empowered, self-assured without being overbearing or trying to control. You know, we somehow always have that need to be controlling our time, our space, and maybe even people around us. So it helps you have the ability to just make decisions easily, flow with your life, maintain compassion towards others, and physically you'll feel a strong sense of vitality. So for our breath work, the breath work that is associated with igniting that fire or turning on that volume of our energy for our solar plexus chakra is Kapalabhati breath, or breath of fire. So in this technique, we're going to be starting on a seated position, just how we're at right now. And you can either close your eyes or soften your gaze. Just start tuning into the moment without making any changes to your breath just now. Just connecting to your natural rhythm of your breath. Connecting to the ground below you. Perhaps placing our palms face down on our laps and feeling how our spine lengthens with our inhales and our belly relaxes with our exhales. In order to practice some Kapalabhati breath or breath of fire, this breath work consists of
He makes all the magic happen, man.
slight, just gradual inhales. So there will be no modification to the way that you inhale through your nose. Kind of just like effortlessly. But on your exhales, you are going to exhale through your nose in a sharp movement, and at the same time, contracting your belly. So trying to picture bringing your navel to spine. So you're doing a very subtle inhale through your nose, and then exhaling out sharply at the same time as you contract your stomach. So kind of like you're trying to push out all of that air that you have in your diaphragm with your exhale. What this does is this breath work highly activates your core, stimulates your abdominal area, and it helps build confidence and ignite that personal power within ourselves. And at the same time, with those sharp exhales, we release any stored emotion or tension in our body. So releasing that breath and just tuning back to your natural rhythm. Taking a few deep inhales and exhales. And very gently starting to open back our eyes and bring back awareness into our bodies and into the moment. Some people like to practice Kapalabhati breath as well with movements in your hands. So imagine a kind of cat-cow. Others also do it standing up instead of sitting down. It'll really get you fired up. So if you're having a slow morning, you're feeling very sluggish, 30 seconds to a minute of Kapalabhati breath will start warming up your body. So let's start to warm up our entire bodies from head to toe, doing slight neck rolls over to one side.
I'm already moved up from this morning. This is session number 2.
And on to the other. Coming back to center, taking our right hand overhead, and with the help of our left, just creating a deep stretch, opening up that right side of our body. And coming back to center, and exchanging sides. Coming back to center, this time twisting over to the right.
Something like this, you don't necessarily want to force it, but let your breath kind of stretch you. Maybe sink in a little bit lower, or a little bit more.
Back to center, and on to the other side.
I'm not necessarily pulling.
This time as we come to center, uncross our legs, bring those legs over into a butterfly pose. So bringing our soles to touch, taking our hands to open up our feet like you're trying to read a book. And take a big inhale, and as you exhale, lower down.
Oh, that's still tender. Oh.
We could like dig a little hole for her so she could go even lower than that.
Girls in front of me, it's like kissing the mat.
Slowly coming back up, flipping our feet around, making our way to a tabletop. So stacking our knees below our hips, our wrists below our shoulders, and taking the moment here in tabletop to start just releasing your hips, your back, making any intuitive movement that your body is asking for.
Do this fast, right? Tina from Bob's Burgers, just like.
Maybe closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Using your breath and your body to guide you. Coming back to a neutral tabletop, moving through some cat-cows with our breath. So as we inhale, we open up our chest, gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, curl your back, gazing through your thighs. Moving through cat-cows with your breath at your own pace. On your next exhale, coming back to a neutral tabletop, grounding from that left hand, right hand rises up as we thread the needle under over to the left. Option here for an extra stretch, bringing that left hand out to the outer left side of your mat, or perhaps even finding a bind around your back. Remember to always listen to your body and breathe. Coming back through center, giving your arms and hips a little shake as we ground through our right palm, left hand rises up, and we go over and thread the needle onto the other side. Coming back up through center, finding yourself at a tabletop, tucking those back toes, lifting up our hips and knees just slightly off the ground. One more round of full inhale and exhale, lower down.
Oh my God, my knees.
Tucking our toes once more, this time lifting from our hips, making our way to a downward facing dog. Taking the moment here to paddle or walk our dog, so taking micro bends on one knee or the other. Gazing forward to our palms and walking our feet over to the front of our mat for a forward fold. Allowing your back to hang heavy, allowing your head to hang heavy, allowing your hands to hang heavy. Perhaps taking hold of opposite elbows for a ragdoll pose. And very slowly swinging from one side to the other. Nodding your head yes. Nodding your head no. Releasing hands back down towards the mat. And very, very slowly rising up vertebra by vertebra. Taking a big inhale as we roll our shoulders back, palms face forward for our mountain pose. Inhale our arms up towards the sky, and as you exhale, fall forward. Lifting halfway, so bringing our backs flat, creating like a number 7 figure with our bodies. Our hands can be below our knees or above our knees. And falling forward one more time. Taking a bend to our knees as much as needed to plant our palms on our mat and stepping or hopping back to a high plank. Option always in a plank to lower down those knees for extra support. Shifting your weight forward so like you're barely hanging from your tippy toes, lowering down halfway, bringing your heart through for your upward facing dog onto your downward facing dog. Right foot rises up, planting that foot in between the palms of our hands, grounding that back left foot like in an angle parallel to our mat and slowly rising up for a warrior one. So squaring off our hips to the mat, rising our hands up towards the sky. Cartwheeling our hands back down to frame that foot, back into our plank, and taking our chaturanga.
I cracked like a glow stick on that one.
Left foot rises up, planting that foot in between the palms of our hands, lowering down that back foot, and slowly rising up. Cartwheeling our hands back down to frame that foot into our plank, lowering halfway, upward facing dog, into our downward facing dog. And slowly walking your feet to the top of the mat. Releasing arms, hands, your neck, all back down to the mat. And very, very slowly rising up. Taking a big inhale and exhale out. As we inhale, bring our arms up, maybe even take a little peek to the back for a back bend, and fall forward.
I feel like I'm going to be 2 inches taller.
Lifting up halfway. And falling forward. Planting your palms on your mat and stepping or hopping back into a plank. Shifting your weight from your hips all the way up to a downward facing dog. Grounding from your left hand, take that right hand and try to reach over towards your left thigh, calf, or your left ankle.
Wow. Fuck this.
Bringing that hand back and into our downward facing dog. Grounding from the right hand, try to reach your left leg, calf, or ankle.
God, this mic just drags my shirt.
And back to our downward facing dog. Shifting our weight forward, back to a plank. Grounding from the left hand, right hand rises up, perhaps bringing that foot, either keeping it grounded to the side, bringing it over, or even try some little balancing, stretching out that foot. Coming back down to our plank and to our downward facing dog. Right leg rises up as we step it through in between the palms of our hands, rising up for a crescent. Hands come to heart center as we twist over to the right, lowering down. Perhaps even using that left elbow to hook onto the outer side of that right knee. Gazing back to the front of our mat, grounding from the right foot, slowly lifting up for a warrior three. Bringing back our left foot to meet the right and falling forward.
Was that a sequence, my guys? Jesus.
Very, very slowly rising back up. Resetting our breath.
Oh.
Fiery. Taking a big inhale, opening up. Exhale, falling forward. Lifting up halfway. And falling forward one more time. Planting our palms on our mat and stepping or hopping back to a plank. Lifting up from our hips to a downward facing dog. Grounding from your right hand, left hand rises up. And try to reach for that right ankle, calf, or leg opening up to the right side of your mat. Planting that palm back down to our downward facing dog. Right hand rises up and trying to reach for that left leg or ankle. Planting our palm back down and into our downward facing dog. Shifting our weight forward into a plank. This time grounding from that right hand, shifting our weight over to the side, left hand rises up. For a bit of an extra challenge, try lifting up that left leg from the ground.
Oh my God.
And coming back into our plank.
Oh my God.
Making your way to your downward facing dog. Left leg rises up, planting that foot in between the palms of our hands and rising up for our crescent.
That was terrible. What the fuck?
Bringing hands down to heart center, twisting over towards the left side and lowering down. Perhaps even taking that right elbow and hooking it on the outer side of that left leg. Shifting our gaze to the front of our mat, grounding from that front left foot, rising up to a warrior three. Warrior three, our hands could be at heart center, airplane out back, over to the sides, maybe even in a bind behind you. Focusing your gaze on a spot on the floor, so finding your drishti, that spot that is not moving, and connecting to your breath. Bringing that right foot down, hands fall to the front of our mat into our forward fold. And very, very slowly rising back up. Grounding back to the moment with the help of our breath. Perhaps taking a sip of water.
Yeah, my calves though are like, whew.
Taking a big inhale and exhale, release and fall forward. Lifting up halfway. And falling forward one more time. Planting the palms of your hands on the mat and stepping or hopping back to a high plank. Lowering down halfway, bringing our heart through our arms for our upward facing dog, rising from our tailbone into a downward facing dog. Right leg rises up, planting that foot in between our palms, again rising up to a crescent.
You may have noticed this, but I'm pushing back with this leg and pushing forward with the other leg to create stability.
Bringing our hands back to heart center. We've been here before. Twisting over to the right, perhaps even hooking that left elbow onto the outer side of that right leg. This time, gazing forward, and as we gaze forward, this variation will not include Warrior 3, but we are going to rise up, bringing that leg up into a chair pose. So with chair, we can use any variation of chair. We could be down here, up, support it on our calf, over our knee, full lotus, never on top of your knee. I like this little figure 4-ish kind of chair. Using our breath to focus to that one thing. And of those letters right behind me that are not moving. Extending your leg out parallel to the mat. Lower down that right hand. Grab the outer part of your knee. For an extra balance, perhaps bringing that left arm back and opening to the side. And slowly releasing and falling forward.
Dude, I have a foot cramp right now. Whew.
Planting your palms on your mat, stepping or hopping back into a high plank. Lowering down your knees and shifting your weight all the way back into a child's pose. Option 2, keep our knees together or bring those knees as far wide open as possible and sinking low into your child's pose. Reconnecting back to your breath. Keeping your hips right where they are, walking both hands out to the outer right side of your mat. Feel that deep stretch on the left side of your rib cage. And walking your hands all the way over to the other side.
So I reach out far. So I'm just kind of back. It keeps me back here, and then you're going to just breathe it into the side of your body. Taking some happy little breaths.
Bringing hands back to center. Lifting up from our hips, tucking our toes, and coming up into a downward facing dog.
A lot of dogs. Fucking glizzies, bro. I want a glizzy. Hot dog sounds good.
Left foot rises up, and planting that foot in between the palms of your hands, and slowly rising up. Bringing hands to heart center and twisting over towards the left, using our right elbow to hook onto that left knee. As we gaze forward, slowly rising up from that back foot into our tree.
Yeah, that was tree. Again, let's just we're gonna do this. Don't put it on your knee. Stiffen that leg.
Taking a bend to our knee so it's parallel, our thigh to the floor. Taking our left hand, grabbing that right knee. For an extra twist, bringing that right hand all the way to the back. Releasing your bind and falling forward one more time. And very slowly rising back up.
I like to think with all the discomfort and stretching, it's just releasing the stress in my body. So,
Taking a big
I
inhale
certainly got an abundance of cortisol.
and exhale, falling forward. Lifting up halfway. And falling forward one more time. Planting your palms on your mat, hopping or stepping back to a plank and moving through the final chaturanga of the class. So lowering down halfway, bringing your heart through for an upward facing dog and onto your downward facing dog. right foot rises up, taking a bend to that knee, bringing that knee over towards your right hand, foot over towards your left hand, setting up for pigeon. Taking a big inhale. You can stay up here in active pigeon pose or with the help of your hands, walking all the way down.
My patella.
With the help of your hands, coming back up, taking a bend of that back knee, perhaps even the help of our left hand reaching over.
Oh my God. Nope. It's too much.
Slowly releasing that grip and shifting our weight over to the left side of our mat, stretching out that front leg, taking a big inhale and falling forward. Coming back up, taking a bend to that left knee, extending our right foot back, setting up for pigeon on the other side. So you're probably going to be facing the street. And again, option to stay here in active pigeon pose or slowly lowering all the way down.
It's good for your psoas muscle. The source of a lot of low back pain. Jesus. Ay, Dios mío.
Slowly coming back up and making your way to your back.
All senior citizens should have life alert.
Taking a bend to our knees, bringing those knees towards our chest and giving them a big, big hug. Perhaps even rocking from side to side,
even though you don't like
massaging
me
that
very
lower
much.
back.
I'm sorry for all the times I abused you.
Maybe even taking a hold of our feet into a happy baby pose. And slowly releasing down to your mat, making any final pose or movement that your body is asking for that final extra stretch and release.
Let's go full on starfish. Full starfish.
And when you're ready, with the help of your breath, starting to relax your forehead, relax your eyes, release any tension in your neck and shoulders. Taking a big inhale, feeling how your chest opens up, and with the exhale, it relaxes down into the mat. Relaxing your belly. Releasing any tension left in your hips. Thighs. Legs. And finally, relaxing your feet.
Do my feet have abs? Because I feel like my feet have abs right now.
Taking a moment to connect back with the purpose of our class.
To support our friends.
Perhaps even repeating to yourself, I am confident in who I am.
I'm confident in who I am. At least 53% of the time.
I trust my inner strength.
I trust my inner strength. I do.
And I take actions with clarity and purpose.
I take actions with clarity and purpose. We're working on that one still. You kind of just do it and figure it out later.
starting to bring back some awareness into your body. Starting to wiggle our fingers and toes. Bringing those knees back once more to your chest for a big hug. And rocking to one side of your mat.
Go next to me, fellas.
Taking a last moment of stillness. Connecting back to that area in our bodies linked to our personal power, confidence, self-discipline. And remembering that when we're feeling out of balance, we can always connect back to our breath. Slowly making your way back to a seated position at the top of your mat. Taking one last big collective inhale. And as we exhale, bringing our hands down to heart center. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Ray, for taking a double whammy class today.
Hey.
From my heart to yours, namaste.
Namaste. Now it's time to party.
Commentary on Ray being famous on YouTube.